First up, go to my nicosteves.com website for all things about my book. There are links that take you directly to the Amazon page where my book, The Very Fine Light, is sold. May the end of our Lenten journey, though weighted down by the sacrifices we see from the Ukraine people, bring more urgency to our personal journeys this Lenten season, and certainly those in the Ukraine will remain in our hearts and prayers. This installment of Constant Procession joins all on the Lenten journey with our entering the final preparations in our goal to be ready to join the glorious celebration of Easter through the miracle of the risen Christ. Have our preparations been successful in overcoming today's times where the world of serious concerns reminds us how difficult it is to follow what God asks us to do? I have been able to reflect more on how the sacrifice of Jesus and the glory of the resurrection can fill us with hope, and that the Lenten work now can allow us to joyfully partake in the Easter festivities, and to help us see how much we are loved by the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. One of the things I've pondered during the Lenten season is what it was like for the early apostles and the Virgin Mary in those very first years following the resurrection. There is in my mind no doubt they were guided by the Holy Spirit in those earliest of times as the Mother Church was taking shape. And the Holy Spirit would have certainly guided all those Christian leaders that have shaped our modern Lenten practices by providing more opportunities for reflection through praying and offering more church services, plus many other ways to worship in order to get closer to God. Still, I wonder, how did the Virgin Mary and all the apostles feel? Of course, firstly, they had seen Jesus come back to life for themselves and celebrated with Jesus in his victories over death for our sakes. In the years that immediately followed, did they struggle to understand how the innocent man from heaven got taken before the justice system they had to live under still? Did they struggle to understand the way Jesus had been passed around from government official to government official like a hot potato? The judges who had the power to control his fate, whose position of power allowed them the authority to have someone killed or spared? And how did the Virgin Mary and the apostles reflect on those officials with their cowardly actions by tossing the burden of life or death decisions to the people rather than to take the heat for making this decision? We'll give you a chance to choose who's to live and who's to be spared in death. In other words, give Jesus a second chance to live. Do you want to save a known murder revolutionary or this innocent man of God who preached peaceful living? These deeds were overcome as Christ conquered death and surely came into the minds of the Virgin Mary and the apostles as they reflected. For me, these are the events that are brought to life again and again each Lenten season and during Easter time. Have we really prayed more, given more, gone without more? Has whatever sacrifice I've made been successful in bringing me closer to God? If so, it should allow us during the Easter season to follow the joy and gladness of the Lord's unconditional love for us, a love for us that restores us and brings greater clarity in our thoughts and deeds by being mindful of the presence of God inside us. But if you come to the Lenten season in the 8th hour, or the 9th hour, the 10th hour, or even the 11th hour, the Trinity welcomes you to join Christ's death and resurrection with the great Easter services in churches across the world. And during the family and friends celebrations on Easter Sunday, the children's favorite time of finding Easter eggs can be further enjoyed. And the opening of an egg is a releasing into the world new life thanks to the sacrifice of Jesus Christ who defeated death and brings our own Lenten sacrifices the hope of the new life to come. And so the Easter celebration of the resurrection of Christ after dying on the cross. We do this by making His sacrifice personally meaningful through our Lenten personal offerings, praying, going without, and doing charitable works for others. His sacrifice makes us recognize our need to be more giving and forgiving. This is Nico Steves. I hope you enjoyed this installment. My book can be found using the title, The Very Fine Light, on Amazon.com. Please feel free to contact me at nicosteves.com. That's Nikos Steves, Steves.com. If you like this episode, and for more, share them with friends. This is Nico Steves. Thank you. See you next time.